Welcome back to episode 249 of the Gun Guns Podcast. I'm your host, Troy.
I'm your other host, Doug.
We use this podcast to talk about guns and the responsible Christian gun owners' interest. On this week's show, we'll be talking about the importance of standing, tree standing, standing tall, standing up, standing in line. We'll get to it a little bit later. First, we want to thank our bandwidth sponsor, the Firearms Radio Network.
There we go.
Somebody left their speaker on.
It's amazing when people use my computer.
Bandwidth sponsor, Firearms Radio Network. We want to thank them for having our show out there for you guys to watch and listen and whenever you want to. And also,
Crossbreed holsters. Hey, you've heard Troy and I talk about if you're carrying on your person or got a gun next to your bed in your vehicle, wherever, Crossbreed makes a holster for you. Go check our buddies out at crossbreedholsters.com. Carry the cross.
I'm carrying the cross.
I'm not carrying it in my waistband right now, but I got it right there. Hey, you can look at mine and tell that baby is worn.
Yep.
I used it.
It's supposed to be.
It's broke in good. It feels good. It fits good. So it's perfect. Hey, also, we want to get you guys to go out and check out one of our new sponsors, PowerTech Lights at powertech.com. Tell you what, man, I've been using that light, that headlamp that I have from them, and I've been more and more impressed all the time. That thing is so bright. I got it all juiced up. It's going to Arkansas with me this week, and I'm going to show the boys down the river because they got all these hand lights and stuff. And 2,600 lumens, that's bright. So spotlight, if you need a spotlight for your boat, there you go.
Good deal. So we've been having this technical difficulty with this new setup quite some time, and we're going to talk shop a little bit because I don't know what's going on here, because I'm showing now I've got 96 down, 100 up, and I have a red slow connection thing on Jitsi. So, and that's the fastest I've ever run here. So I don't know what's going on. It was showing Doug yellow, now it's showing Doug green, me red. I've been green for like 4 hours. If I die, I'll come back alive just like Jesus did. And Doug will carry on with the show. But I do not know what is going on because Jitsi is the only place I have any problem. All the other connections are hot and working fine. So I don't know.
I'm looking at your feed on the YouTube side right now.
Yeah.
And you are grainy.
Yeah, I mean, I'm clear on my side, but I don't know what's going on with this stupid thing.
I see you clear on my Jitsi feed. I see you clear as well.
Let me try something and see if I disappear.
Oh, you disconnected totally.
I'm back.
And
now I'm green. Okay. Maybe that's what we needed. I had to do that on YouTube side earlier. Okay. So where were we at?
We did PowerTech Lights. Yep. Palmetto State Armory is our new affiliate sponsor. We got a link in the show notes. They got a Black Friday sale coming up, guys, that I've been getting the pre-sale emails of stuff that they got coming up. You need to go check them out. If you're looking for AR parts, bolts, whatever you're looking for, man, they got it. Go check them out. Use our affiliate link that we have. It's in our show notes. We got it on our Facebook page. I put it on my Facebook page on my side. Troy's put it on his. I think we've put it out everywhere that we can so far.
Yep.
And
we just need you to the top too.
We just need you guys to click on it. And anything that you buy, I know on Facebook the other day when I posted it, one of our listeners had commented back. He said, "Oh, a month after I order all my stuff." I was like,
everybody needs a winter project. I mean, I bought a new lower.
I bought a new lower
because winter is the best time to put together a new project.
Hey, and for $39, you can't beat it.
Yeah. The worst part is that you got to pay like a $25 for your gun dealer to transfer it. It's almost the price of the receiver. That's crazy.
Unless you got a buddy that'll do it for you.
Yeah, I got a buddy, but man, I got to go too far to go see him.
No, do you?
Yeah. Then I moved.
Excuse me.
I'm
But
trying to make a buddy out of the new guy up here. Maybe we'll be buddies, maybe we won't.
there, there you go. But hey, go check them out. Use our affiliate link, and they will show us a little love on stuff that you guys buy. They got red dots. They got all kind of stuff, man.
They got
That's
ammunition. They got pistols. They got rifles. They got everything. They got parts. They got magazines. They're really good about the 10 pack of Magpul magazines
yeah,
and a pistol for like $300 or something. It's crazy.
ridiculous prices.
Yeah, and I mean you need to be buying ammo because we're just a year out. We're less than a year out from election, and we got us a dud here in Kentucky. Good golly, I've already seen 3 proposals to
Take away every,
take away the constitutional carry that we just got signed in to to do red flag laws. And what was the third one they were pushing for? Oh, homeschoolers. They're going to start trying to take homeschoolers out. You vote for a Democrat, you vote for a slave master is what you're voting for. It's just the truth of it. Well, we're getting off the subject. Go ahead, Doug.
you're right, but that's it. Go. Hey, I want to ask everybody too. If you're listening, use our link for the Palmetto State Army stuff, but do us a favor, copy that link and share it to make sure you get our link off of our page, but get that link and share it on your Facebook pages and share it with all your buddies and all your gun friends, and um, send it to all your gun friends' wives so they can and circle things on
And
it. Hey,
children. If they got children, they might buy
yeah,
them.
hey,
They
you
might
never
buy guns too.
you never know. Every little bit helps, and it helps us with the show. So we would much appreciate any help you could give us, and you get parts too. So
Yep, it's a twofer.
a
It's a
twofer,
win-win.
win-win.
There you go. I've lost my show notes. All right. So, what have you been up to with your guiding guns this week, Doug?
Of course, I've been doing my Sportsman's Daily Devotional, church on Sunday. Uh, Actually, I posted on the Bulwarks alumni the other day. It was a Sportsman's Daily Devotional that I was actually reading in the tree stand when I was hunting
I
Monday
saw
morning.
that.
Did you see that? Was that not perfect?
Yeah. Awesome.
Yeah, it was the gist to the little Bible study for the daily devotional was being able to change, and they brought up being in a tree stand. Sometimes you need to change the way you do things to make things happen, and I thought it was just for where I was sitting and what I was doing. I thought it was like spot on. So I posted out on the Bulwarks thing, so it was kind of neat. But I like that Sportsman's Daily Devotional. It's really good. The gun side, of course, everyday carry. I took the week off this week from work, headed out to Arkansas in the morning, go shoot the beaks off of some ducks. I hope they had a good opener this week, so we'll see how it goes. But we're going out tomorrow. We're hunting Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, and then come home Sunday after we get done hunting. What else did I do? I killed a deer Monday. I did kill a deer, so that was a good thing. I got this high powered rifle, 30-06. Reach out and touch him. I had the big gun with me just in case. I shot him at 14 yards. He comes sliding in behind me. Actually, you'd be proud, man. I'm ambidextrous. I actually had to shoot him left-handed, and boom, one and done. I hit him, and he dropped right where he was standing. Never flinched, never kicked, nothing. So, and then work. But that's the only thing that's bad about when you take the week off and you hunt.
Mhm.
You don't have anybody to hunt with you, and there's nobody to help you. So getting that, he wasn't as far as antler wise. It was a buck, but he was an older deer, and he was a big bodied deer, and he needed to be culled. He had spikes on him that were probably 12 inches or longer.
I
That
saw those.
went up, and I don't know if you can see in the picture. One side of it was palmated around. It was like flat and went up. It was probably an inch and a half or 2 inches wide across it. Where that spike went up. He was an older deer,
Mhm.
but man, you talk about a pain trying to get that joker in the truck. Normally, if you got a truck that doesn't have a camper shell on it, which I have a cab on mine. So you can't climb up in there and stand up and get leverage to pull him up over the tailgate and bring him into the bed of the truck. So I had to try to pick him up and throw him up on the tailgate and then roll the tailgate up and throw him in the back of the truck to get him in there. And dude, it looked like a monkey trying to work a math problem. I tell you, I finally got him up. When I went to throw him, I got his hind quarter up on the tailgate, and his head and front legs was hanging off. And I just kind of leaned up against the tailgate and stopped him right there, and then grabbed his front legs and rolled him on up in the back of the truck. And I was huffing and puffing. When he called me, she's like, "Did you get your deer loaded?" I'm like, "Yes, finally."
You're gonna get you one of those 1,500 pound winches and get you some kind of a what is that thing they got? The one that mounts on the back of the tail.
They got one that goes in the receiver hitch.
Yeah,
I got a gift one. It's got
yeah. You get one of them. Drag
I
him
can
up in
just
there.
just swing him up in there and let the rope down a little bit, or hit the button on the winch and just let him down and
Yeah,
done.
yeah.
But it was a pain doing it by myself. So
Do you feel dress it out there? And
I
just
did. Yeah, I couldn't never got him in there with the guts and stuff in him.
yeah,
It would have been, he would just been too much. It was all I could do. I had to drag him about, I don't know, 300 yards. And of course, he wasn't helping none. It was like dragging something dead, which he was. He wouldn't help any.
you got to take your 4-wheeler, go out there and drag him in.
Yeah, I could have. Well, that's what I could have. I could do that. I could take my trailer and put my Polaris on there and throw a rope up a tree and lift him up and then back the truck up under him. And,
Just drag him up on the trailer.
whoa, I could do that too. Throw him on the back
You
of the
have
trailer.
to hoist him in the truck.
Well, I could have took the trailer. I wouldn't even need the Polaris for that. I could have drug him up
Yeah,
on there. I had to drag him down. That was no problem.
yeah. Trailer's just a hassle though,
It is.
especially getting around trees and stuff.
Dude, it was so funny. I was sitting there and Wendy had just texted me, wondering if I'd seen anything. I'm like, no, not yet. And it was almost 11 o'clock. And I'd had this squirrel back behind me all morning,
Chattering at
just irritating me to death. He'd get on the ground, he'd start jumping through leaves, and it sounded like something running. I turn around and look, squirrel. I hear
you.
him again, turn around, squirrel. So I'm sitting there, haven't seen nothing, and I just hear one little twig break and I was in a pine thicket, so all the pine needle stuff you can't hear. I mean, you don't hear it usually. I heard one little twig just kind of break, and I turned around. And as soon as I looked over my shoulder, there was three standing like 5 feet from the tree, and the lead one was standing there looking straight up at me. I was like, "Oh no!" So they trotted up through the woods. They didn't blow. They didn't act scared or nothing. They didn't smell me. They just didn't know what it was. And they ran up in the woods. And I said, well, let me hit my grunt call a couple times and see if I can. I thought maybe, because it is the rut here right now, I said maybe I can get a buck to come in. I hit that grunt call a couple minutes after they went up in the woods. And when I hit it, I put it back in my bag and turned back around. It wasn't 30 seconds. That buck was walking down from where the does went in. He was walking right to me like he was on a string. I was like, oh, you just messed up, buddy. Today is browning down. And he was.
Good deal. I about hit like 42 deer on Monday night. No, was it Monday night? No, it was Tuesday night. It was last night. Gosh, man, getting old ain't no fun.
Mm.
Last night, Audrey had a volleyball game. Of course, ain't nothing. There's no volleyball games close. You got to drive at least an hour and a half anywhere one way to go play a volleyball game with her league. So we had to go to Morgantown, and you know where Morgantown's at.
Oh, yeah.
You got to go way the heck out of the way and then turn left, and they go way the heck out of the way and then turn left, and they go way the heck into nowhere to get to Morgantown. And so we were driving in. It was dusk. It was dusk. It was still light out. I said, it's going to be awful coming out here tonight. I said, there'll be deer all over this road. And it was raining. And so we come out, and man, I bet I almost hit, I'm not kidding, at least 40 deer between there and getting back to E-Town. Western Kentucky Parkway is just like, deer slaughter heaven. There's dead deer carcasses all up and down the road because there's nothing built up around Western Kentucky Parkway
Mm-mm.
anywhere. It's swamps and big fields and timber everywhere. I mean, it's just deer heaven. And so they're all out in the road, the side of the road. I'm blowing horns, hitting brakes, speeding up, slowing down. That wears you out, man. It's like driving
Yeah,
through South Alabama at night. There's a bazillion deer down there. They don't weigh about 45 pounds, but man, they're everywhere. You drove through southern Alabama at night, you know how many
that
little 40-pound deer out there?
that's the way it is for us. It always worries me when we drive at night, going out to Arkansas to get there for an early morning hunt or something.
Uh-huh.
We go through Mississippi. There's two management areas that we go right through the middle of, and there's deer everywhere at night out there running around. So it's like I'm surprised we haven't hit one yet. We've come close, but we haven't done it. So
I got the deer whistle things on the front of my truck, and I've never had one actually run out in front of me since I put them on there. But they're all along the edge of the roads and stuff. But I don't know if they work or not work. But I've never hit a deer since then. I've hit deer before then,
hey,
but
if you haven't hit one, it's got to be working doing something.
I don't know. Maybe it's just one of them talismans you just wear. You just think you're not going to hit nothing else. Well, I wander out the weeds. Did we get to your gun and gun stuff?
Let's see. I got my
It's
bud.
last coming up.
Oh, I did. I went from outdoorsy woodsman, He-Man stuff to
Uh-huh.
I took my granddaughter. Me and my wife took my granddaughter to go see Frozen 2 yesterday, and of course she loved that. Been packing today for the trip. I went and looked at my Christmas present today for a few minutes.
Yeah.
I was down at the gun store, and I gotta ask Plinkster, what he recommends. I've got it narrowed down. I'm probably going to get the 500 Smith and Wesson. I thought about the 460, but I'm probably just going to do the 500 because that's what I really want. But I don't know if I want a long barrel or a shorter barrel on it.
Are you planning on packing it?
No, no, no.
And I would go with a long barrel.
Well, I am going to pack it, hunting and stuff, but not in a
If I'm
not in
going to hunt with it,
not
I'm
on
going
a
with
belt
a long barrel.
not on a belt holster.
Yeah. Yeah. Chain a little wagon behind you.
Put a pot on it.
You got a golf cart, like a little golf tote thing you pull behind you, a little wagon.
I knew right.
Like those hunters I flushed off the farm about 30 years ago. Little red wagon, a cooler, and they put all the guns in there when they get tired.
That's sad. And hey, don't forget, everybody. December 14th, 15th. There's still time to sign up for the Bulwark Foundation Self Defense Handgun class. It's going to be in Americus, Georgia. I'm going to be there. Did you decide if you're coming down or not?
My wife decided that for me.
Not.
She said that we have friends coming in for a visit we ain't seen in a long time. I'm like, okay. I said, I don't know if Gunner's going to want to drive all that way by himself, though.
Uh,
We'll see. There's an opportunity out there, maybe, to move things around. But as of right now, not likely. That class is pretty full, isn't it? Have you talked to Jesse lately?
I have not.
I was thinking that class was getting close to filling up.
I
'Cause I
hope
mentioned to him at the shotgun class that Gunner might be going down for that one. He was excited to hear that. I was thinking you said something about maybe it was getting close to being full. The shotgun class was completely sold out, by the way.
was it.
Yeah, it was sold out. They reserved a space for Gunner just in case he came and I was able to shoot. And I told him, there ain't no way I'm able to shoot. They said, good, because there ain't no more spots. So that was
Yeah.
good.
Hey, tell Gunner if he wants to come down, he's got a place to stay. He knows that.
Yeah. So just a matter of talking him into it. He's not, uh, he's not into new things unless I'm into the new thing with him, sort of kind of thing.
Hey, Tank, come on down, man. Me and him bonded when we were over at Iraqi vet shoot. So
Yeah. He has a good time once he gets there. He just has these doubts,
yeah,
Like you just gotta go for it, man.
there don't be a doubt in Thomas. Just come on.
You just gotta go. Of course, he doesn't really have any practice behind a pistol other than the carbine class. About I don't know 5 or 6 days last summer outside.
Well,
Uh, It's
that's what's the foundation.
yeah. So
I got a buddy of mine coming in. Let's see, I'm going to be in Arkansas this weekend. He's coming up next weekend from Florida. Him and his son. It's his son's birthday, and he messaged me. I don't know, a couple weeks ago or so, and wanted to know if there was any way if his son came up, if I could take him deer hunting. I want to get a deer, and he wants his son to go. I was like, yeah. So he's going to come in this coming weekend. I'm going to be in Arkansas this weekend. He's coming the next weekend. The next weekend, I'm going to be in at the pistol shoot. The next weekend is
this
Christmas, and then I'm leaving the day after Christmas. I'm going to Augusta, Arkansas, for 3 days. I come back. I'm going to be home a weekend, and then I'm going back to Arkansas again. It's like
what about shot? You ever make a decision?
I can't. I ain't gonna be able to go to shot. I'm gonna be in Arkansas like the day before we're supposed to be out there. So there's no way I can make it.
All right.
I am going to make it one of these days. If they just move shot away from duck season
In Vegas,
in Vegas,
they'd move it over here on the East Coast somewhere. I would much enjoy it because I don't care nothing about Vegas.
there's got to be places they could have it.
They say there's not. They say there's not enough hotels and gun ranges and all that in close proximity. So who knows? All right, off to my gun and stuff. Of course,
Yep.
daily Bible reading, church. Got to go church Sunday. Got to listen to the service. For the most part, I got called out like 3 different times for different situations, things going on, oddities, things like that. Had We've got a guy that's been coming to church on and off for about 5 years. He's got a drug problem, and at times I've had to keep him out of the church because his problem was very obvious. Other times I've brought him in. Other times he's been so malnourished I've fed him. I've taken him to the hospital before. The dude just keeps falling off the wagon. He's really been on my heart. I've been praying for him. I've shared the gospel with him over and over again. The people for church are really good people. They put up with a lot of nonsense from people coming in being a mess. And this guy knows he needs to straighten his life up, but he's trying to do it on his own. And I'm just going to ask you guys to pray for a man. His first name's initial is D. If you guys just could pray for him, he is alienated from his family. He's living in a town where he only knows druggies, pretty much, and where to get drugs at. Um, and people at the church that try to take care of him when he gets himself in bad shape. He gets cleaned up. He comes into church. He attends for a month, 6 weeks, and then he falls off the wagon again. And he's been back in church now for about 6 weeks. It's getting close to holidays. He ain't got no family. He's alienated from his child or children. I don't know how many he's got or whatever. He's got lots of issues, but God can save him. And I'm praying for his salvation. I'm praying for God to help him kick those drugs. And you guys just pray he'll be receptive and open up. Told my wife I might try to go uh, find him and bring him up for Thanksgiving or something if I can find out where he's at. He's homeless, uh, living off the charity of people, but he knows he's got a problem. He admits he's got a problem, and he keeps falling back in the same place. So I dealt with him on Sunday, and I mean it's not like a chore. It's just he's just stuck in a cycle he can't get out of. And so you guys pray that God would be able to just make him sick of those drugs, and Lord would provide him a job. He's trying to find employment, but he's just not got a good history because he just keeps falling off the wagon. So
Mm.
God's not written him off yet. He's still got him under conviction, and I just ask you guys pray for him. I've prayed with him Sunday. I pray with him every time I get to see him. Uh, but he's really been on my heart a lot this last couple of weeks. Last 3 or 4 months actually. Every time I see him, I try to encourage him and But you guys be praying for him. He really needs salvation. He really needs God's grace and God's providence over his life. Uh, but he's got to hit that bottom to where he's done with it. It is dealing with people that's got addiction.
Hmm.
No matter what the addiction is, they gotta get sick and tired of it enough that they're done with it. And he's about there. He's just about there. He's been close to death a couple times, and I've tried to help him out. But he's just really been on my heart. I guess you guys pray for him. So that's part of the dealing with church security. I usually have to escort him and keep an eye on him. Not that he's a thief, just because you never know what kind of drugs he may have in his system or what how they're going to act. Most of the time, I think it's just opioids or some kind of a pot or something like that. I don't think he's got enough money to ever get anything else. That's enough about him. But this time of the year, it's just really depressing for people in that situation because they don't have any family to be with. They don't have anyone that cares about them other than what they can get off of them. So pray about that. EDC, excuse me, on the gun side, EDC. Uh, I have been working on Puff. I got him out of the safe. He'd been in there for almost a year, I guess, before I got him out because I think I had him out last year for Thanksgiving to let the in-laws shoot some manpower, and I put this tail hook on. It actually is the only kind of brace that ever really works. It clips underneath your arm there. And you can actually hold the gun out. So it actually does what the SIG brace is supposed to do. Whenever you're done with it, you just take it, fold it up, clips up,
Huh.
nice, neat, clean, and it'll work as a gun stand, as y'all saw from the pictures.
It did.
Yeah, I got it standing right here beside the disc. But so Puff, people say I didn't know that Puff was an HK, and I didn't know that you was talking about 308. Yeah, it's a 308. It's a PTR. It looks like I'm starting to lose my connection again. So I'm gonna try that again. Let's see if I can be successful again. I might disappear for a second.
And he did. And he's back.
Yeah, I'm back in them green. Okay, so Puff is a PTR PDW. It's a pistol, 8.5 inch barrel, 308. It's based on it was built on HK tooling, and it's HK 91 cut down to a pistol with an 8.5 inch barrel. It's got HK components inside, HK trigger group, HK full auto bolt carrier, um, HK barrel. It's pretty much a configuration of HK 51, and I've got a X Products 50 round drum and Magpul angle foregrip, and then that gear was it Gearworks, Gearhead Works tail hook brace, which actually works. You can put the brace out and you can hold it straight out and shoot. So that's what it's for. So if you can't use it with one hand, it actually works for that. So I really like Puff. Puff is one of my fun guns. I'll never probably get rid of Puff because it just puts a smile on your face.
Yes, it
And
does.
fear of God and everybody else within a mile. And it makes these fireballs that are like 6 foot around, just glorious red flame. So
They're huge.
huge. You get that thump in your chest when you shoot it. We both got the coughs tonight. So I'm healing up from my injuries. Several people have asked. I'm going to have to hit the cough button. I am just trying not to blow people's ears out. All right. So I'm healed up from the injuries pretty much. My shoulder, the doc had said probably 2 to 3 weeks, about a week ago. So I got about another week to 2 weeks. It's doing good for the most part, except for I go sleep at night. I had re-injured myself and knocked some vertebrae out over the weekend. I don't know what I was doing, but I did something that knocked some vertebrae out, knocked out a rib, and the doc got me straightened up on Monday, so I'm doing a lot better than over that. And then there's something else going on. What was it? I don't know. I'll heal up sooner or later. But I've been doubled up on the ZG ever since, and that got rid of the inflammation right away. Um, and that's been the best thing, getting over that inflammation, getting all that inflammation out. If you've ever had injuries, that constant hurting and stiffness and swelling and stuff, ice and Zija will wipe it out if you just keep hydrated, drinking lots of water. So I'm doing well there. That's pretty much it. Somebody had asked me a question. I keep thinking I'm missing something, but somebody had asked me a question and I can't remember what it was related to the health issue. But doing well otherwise. Oh, there's a bunch of sales on ZG, by the way, but uh, I mean a lot. Like if you're a veteran, you get like 25% off, and was it no 15% off and free shipping or something over a certain amount of orders and stuff on top of the other discounts they got going on right now. So not
Nice.
really, not really pushing all that. That was Chris, I think, sent me that text like right before we got on here. All right, EDC check. Of course, I've got Puff sitting here carrying the Glock 30S and my Crossbreed Super Tuck, and got a soft T tourniquet. I've got the student of the gun enhanced lifesaver in my hip pocket, and what else I got? I got my little Olight SR1 S1R baton. It's my little go-to. I love those little things. I've showed them to you a bunch of times before. What you got, Doug?
Of course, got the old Glock 19 in my super tuck, but I just took mine off before we started, so there she is. And I also have something from Student of the Gun. I don't know if you can see those sights or not on there, but they're suppressor height and point of aim, point of impact night vision sights, and they're extremely bright, and I like them. And of course, I still got my knife in my pocket, and still got a mag in my back pocket.
Cool. I've got a bushcraft knife on me today. Nice thick spine. It's a Chris White, I think, special. And I got it from the Dave Canterbury. I don't know if you remember Dave Canterbury. They had he was on a show with Cody Lundgren or something like that
Uh huh.
called Dual Survival
Yeah.
years ago. He's up here in Ohio, Indiana. He's up in Indiana, I think. I'm near Indianapolis, and I got some of his gear. I like it, and these knives are awesome. That thing is built like a tank, about the weight of one. But I've had it for like 6 years. When I got back into bushcraft, I guess it's been longer than that. Gosh, it's probably been 10 years ago. I got back into bushcraft, and it's been a good, strong. You can hack trees apart with it kind of knife. That's why I carry a lot of times when I'm around here on the farm. I was out checking on the cows today and got some more firewood in, so we got that in this afternoon. Had the grandkids here today, so they've been here all day. They were off from school for the holidays, and mom and dad still had to work, so we've had them today. Got to fix them breakfast, and make them some blueberry pancakes and scrambled eggs and bacon. Get to see them, once a month or once every couple of months. Seems like everybody's busy running every different direction.
Oh yes. Yes.
All right, so we need to get rolling here. Uh, Feedback. I had something from someone. I'm going to hit the cough button. Go ahead and talk, Doug.
I didn't have any feedback. I couldn't look on iTunes, so I don't know if we had anything. So you might have to pull that up and see if we got anything. But I did not get anything.
I got something from someone, but do not remember where it's from. Let's see. We got some right now. Okay. Nope. 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 Oh, I didn't tell you guys last week. I've been accepted as a Kentucky 3%er.
Have you?
I am now a part of the Kentucky 3% group. So we had, what was it, Terry Bush on. He's the president of Kentucky 3%. And they have vetted me and found out that I was not a government agent or liberal or whatever would preclude me from being able to join. And I got vetted by two or three different people before I was accepted in. So I like it. I like the process. They have training every month. They have a meeting every month for each region or each zone. I think Kentucky's got 12 zones, and they work with other states. And so it's a training and knowledge based group, and they work on prepping and they work on safety and providing your own food and harvesting your own meat, trapping, pretty much to make you a self sufficient man or woman to be able to help take care of your family. And if you need help, then you can reach out to those guys and they can come help you out. They, they do training inside the state. They have a program called K-Cert, which you go out and learn bushcraft survival stuff out in the field, how to and just all kinds of neat stuff. So you might look for a good 3% group in your community. I don't know. These guys are really squared away, level headed, and they're not any kind of these run off the militia woods with a bunch of skinheads and Nazi tattoo stuff. This is families, and this is guys that are ex-military. Some are just good old boys. I mean, of all different varieties. But I really like what I see so far, and I encourage you guys to try to find some like-minded individuals in your community that you can learn from, and maybe you can teach. Guys have lots of skills, so I encourage you to get out there and get building on your community, so that in case you need them, they're there for you, and if they need you, you're there for them.
Hmm.
And always need to be working on that, whether it's whether it's for sharing the gospel or whether it's for sharing sharing each other's help in time of need, crisis, natural disasters, floods, and tornadoes, and things like that. Uh, I was I used to be a member of the Kentucky Disaster Relief Group, Kentucky Baptist Disaster Relief Group when I was younger, and I saw that they've got classes coming out again this year in like five different locations. So maybe that's something you'd be interested in getting in and trying to help out with. All right, let's see. I am trying to get to the inbox. Wow. Apparently we have 17 messages. Let's see. So William Watson sent us something today, but I can't see what it is. Just going through real quick to see if there's anything. Okay, Dan Velt had sent us a message back on the 18th, and been too awful long ago. And he said he wanted to let us know that he truly appreciates everything we do, and all of us want to have a safe existence, but there are people who fight against that. And you speak the truth, and I appreciate that. Keep on doing what you do; it makes a difference. And I want to thank us for all the things we do to advance the kingdom of our Lord. So, thank you, Dan. Appreciate that. Let's see. I think the other ones we read. Okay, yeah. Brian was telling us that he was the one that told us that we had that crossbreed actually doesn't make a high point.
Yeah.
He's the one that told us it. All right, so back to the notes. You have a joke for us tonight?
I do have a joke. It's called Mansion in Glory. A man died and went to heaven. He was met at the pearly gates by Saint Peter, who led him down the golden streets. They passed stately homes and beautiful mansions until they came to the end of the street, where they stopped in front of a rundown cabin. The man asked Saint Peter why he got a hut when there was all those mansions that he could live in. Saint Peter replied, "I did the best I could with the money that you sent us."
Uh, there you go. All right, Bible verse this week's going to sort of tee up our main topic, and we're going to be coming out of Ephesians 6. I'm trying to fight this cough again. Give me a break.
It's tearing
Ah,
you up, ain't it?
yeah, it's just right when you get ready to start talking. All right, Ephesians 6, 10 through 13. Finally, be strong in the Lord and the strength of his might. Put on the whole armor of God that you may be able to stand against the schemes of the devil, for we do not wrestle against flesh and blood, but against rulers, against authorities, against the cosmic powers over this present darkness, against the spiritual forces of evil in heavenly places. Therefore, take up the whole armor of God, that you may be able to withstand in the evil day, and having done all, to stand firm. So many verses you guys have heard before. We went through the whole uh, the Armor of God series. I think it was like 4 or 5 weeks. We went through that, talking about what is the armor of God, the breastplate of righteousness. You know, the word is the sword. All the different aspects of the armor of God and the weapons of God. Actually, being the word is your sword that you can defend with it and you can attack with it. So what we're saying here is that understand that you need to be prepared for the war that's coming. And there is a war that's raging right now. I mean, if you don't see it, then you're not looking at the news, or you're not going outside, you're not talking to people. You might be a basement dweller or something that never goes outside and just plays video games. That would be the only way. And then you probably hear enough trash talking on the video games that you know something's going on. So, what does the Bible say here in Ephesians 6, 10 through 13? It's talking about that we need to be strong in the Lord. How do we get strong in the Lord? Well, we get strong by building our faith, and we build our faith by giving God the things that we are concerned about daily, and watching how God takes those things and works them out and makes them nothing. I mean, he can take any problem we've got, and although we might have to endure the penalty of the decisions we've made, God will make it work out. God will make a way. Uh, Now, if you're a serial killer and you're probably heading to death row, you might have a short period of before
For sure.
before before others, but God can work out everything, and He can do it for your good. And your good might not be the way you think it ought to be. You know, God knows better than you what you need. Sometimes we need a good swift kick in the rear end. Sometimes we need a strong rebuke by someone that upsets our feelings and makes us feel mad at them. But that's what we need to hear. That's what we need to be told. That's what, the wake up call we needed, or we need the encouragement, right? That somebody can bring to you. So put on the whole armor. We talked about the armor. You can't go to battle without your armor. Doug's got AR 500. I've got AR 500, and I've got some other stuff. What is that? That's just to stop a bullet, right? Or it's spiritual to stop the fiery arts of the devil, right? If you have truth, you can block those fiery darts. The devil's the accuser, right? He's always trying to tear you down. He's always trying to destroy your will. He's always trying to make you feel unworthy. Well, we are unworthy. The only thing we had to stand upon is the blood of Jesus, right? And so when you know the truth, you know scripture, and you are able to extinguish those darts because they have no effect on you. So I'm not going to go through rehash the whole armor, but we need to remember that, the devil's going to attack us. He's going to attack it through people that you don't even expect. It could be your wife, it could be your boss, it could be your children, it could be the dog, it could be anybody that has a contact with you. It can cause you to have an attack. But remember, it's a spiritual attack. And that doesn't mean that your wife's the devil. It means that the devil is going to use an opportunity to try to divide you between those you love, those who you respect. Preacher's going to say something, you're going to take it as a personal assault when he wasn't talking about you. He's talking about Joe over here, sitting 2 rows over. Or he wasn't talking about anybody. He was just making an example. And you felt it was an insult upon you. And then you took that to say, well, I don't need to go to church here anymore. I'm not going to give any more money. The devil will use every opportunity to poison your mind and to try to separate you from the body of Christ, try to get you out of the church. If he can get you out of the church, he can. It's like a big fire. You got a big fire, and everything's burning nice and hot. You start pulling pieces of the wood out and separating it, and pulling the coals apart. What happens? They start going out. Why? Because they're not together. That's how we are as believers. If we're not united together and worshiping together, lifting each other up, if we're separated out, we're spread out. When something comes to attack us, say a cup of water gets thrown on one of those coals, it goes out. But if the coal was in with all the rest, you throw a cup of water on there, it's hot enough, it just blows it vaporizes it, right? We're stronger together, working together, and being united together, and in lifting one another up. When we get separated, we're not in church. When we're not with having regular prayer, regular worship, regular instruction from a preacher that's able to give us the word, break it down for us. When we get separated from that, the devil can take us out one by one or multiples at a time. But when we're not united together, we're not in unity. The motto of Kentucky: "United we stand, divided we fall." It's a truth. It is constant in every aspect of life. That if we're going to be able to fight against these spiritual attacks, these spiritual wars, we need to be in together in the church. We need to be praying together. We need to be lifting each other either up. We need to be instructing. We need to be mentoring other believers. That's all part of being. When you got an army, they don't go out and fight individually. They go out and fight as a unit, right? They attack that as a unit. They have guys that need to go off to training, so they go to training to get more specialized skills, and then you bring them back in. You use them as part of your attack element, right? You put certain pieces in certain places to be able to attack that. So we have to be the same way. It's a spiritual battle. We have to have the right people in the right places, and we have to be able to make sure that we're training ourselves, that we're not getting lax, we're not sitting on our butts too much, and that we are getting apathetic or we're getting cynical, that we have to stay engaged in the fight. And we have to stay engaged until Jesus returns or he takes us home. And so stay in the fight, guys. Don't give up. Stand. We're not fighting against liberals on TV. We're not fighting against Democrats. We're not fighting against politicians. We're not fighting against college kids that have been taught a bunch of garbage from communist professors. We're fighting against the devil, right? Communism is the antithesis of Christianity. I mean, everything about communism is the opposite of Christianity. They claim, oh, well, for the common good, but they're stealing from people. God doesn't call us to steal from one another to supply our needs. That's the devil causes us to steal. It causes us to have, the devil is always pushing those buttons of jealousy and envy and desiring to have something else, lusting after the things of other people, lusting after the women of other people. All those things are found within that philosophy of taking from others because they have it. That's not biblical. So anybody that tries to teach you socialism or communism is a biblical thing, that's a God thing, it's not true. The whole thing about communism, it wants to take God out of everything. If you watch how communists attack America, they attack our founding fathers, they attack our religious beliefs, they attack our churches, they attack our family units. They try to separate us out. They try to get us all to be one individuals that are self-seeking or self-interest. That's totally diametrically opposed to the gospel. It calls us all to be in unity together and to lift each other up and to support one another. But they try to do a false religion. That's the thing about the devil. He always does a false kind of the dark side of what Christ calls us to do. He's trying to do the same thing, but in a dark way. So he takes the love and stuff and he turns it into hate. So be on guard for that. When you see that, make sure you're spiritually you're ready for that fight. Know the Bible. I know it's a daunting thing to try to learn the Bible, especially for new believers. But if you continue to even just listen to it, it's going to be poured into you. Get the Bible app, turn it on, and listen to it while you commute. Turn off guiding guns for all. Listen to the Bible. The Bible's a lot better than we are. The Scripture speaks for itself. The Holy Spirit will interpret that for you, and learn the Scripture. Because Doug and I, we're weak vessels. We might say something that's not right. We might misinterpret a verse. So make sure you're taking the Scripture for yourself. That goes for even your pastors at church. They're not perfect. There's only one perfect guy, and they nailed him up on a cross, right? So people make mistakes. People will lead you astray from time to time. Not saying that pastors intentionally do that. Some pastors do. There's some bad shepherds out there. Go ahead, Doug. You sound like you want to jump in here. Oh, you mute
No,
again.
you're right.
Okay.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you. But
Yeah,
go ahead.
I was I was going to say, sometimes you know the interpretation of how you read something versus how somebody else reads it can be two different things. So
Yeah.
sometimes you gotta go back and reread it and ask for guidance on what you're reading. And I know you as well as me. I've read Bible verses, all the time,
Mhm.
and until it seems like until I need to hear that verse, I hear it in a different way, and it actually speaks to me in a different way.
Yeah.
Of
It
course, you may
can.
not know what I'm talking about.
No, I know exactly what you're talking about. The thing is, we need to make sure we're taking it in the context as it was written for the people who it was written to. So we know here in Ephesians, Paul is telling them how to be strong in the Lord, how to fight against these things. So he's given the believers in the church of Ephesus instruction on how to be able to be prepared for the spiritual battle, because everything we deal with is a spiritual battle. It at times is so benign, it seems like there's not really anything going on, but there is. There's manipulation. There's manipulation of the truth. There's outright lies. I've never seen people just outright lie as much as I have in the last in the
Oh,
last 3 years. It just, I mean, just blatantly lie, caught in a lie, and continue to dig deeper on public television. No shame, no nothing. Just
mm-mm.
right in your face. It seems like Hillary's was starting to like lose it there right at the end of the election. That she's falling apart and having strokes and flipping out and stuff. Just one evil woman there. But God's going to judge them, and they're going to pay for what they're doing. But until that day, you got to stand firm. And so, what I want to get to, sorry, don't mean to cough y'all's ears. 13 here. Therefore, take up the whole armor of God, that you may be able to withstand in the evil day, and having done all, to stand firm. And I encourage you that when you take a stand on God's promises. He's going to be with you. He's going to be the one doing the battle. But you got to stand firm and be strong in your faith. And you get your faith built by testing your faith. You test your faith by giving God everything and letting Him work it out. And you see how He works it out, and that builds and grows your faith. You need to know the scriptures. And I know I'm going to beat this can until it's just a little pulp. But you need to know the scriptures, because you're going to come into these situations where somebody's going to ask you a question. If you aren't able to answer it with a good with a good real answer, with a godly biblical answer, then they're going to take you to the woodshed. They're going to beat you up one side and down the other, because they're used to arguing and fighting all the time, and you don't want to do that. Well, no, you don't want to do that. If you need a brother or sister of faith come along and help you, call for it, because that's why we're to be lifting each other up and supporting each other. But I'm not talking about physical confrontations at this point in time. I'm talking about it's a spiritual battle, and that God does the battle. But we need to be strengthened. We need to be praying. We need to be prayed up. And what I say when I say prayed up? A lot of people say, "Well, I don't know what you mean when you say prayed up." You need to be in a right relationship with God. You need to be talking to Him on a regular basis, and you need to be hearing from Him on a regular basis. And you don't do that. It's a snap of a finger. You gotta get in that relationship. You gotta confess sin, get it out of the way, because God will not have anything to do with you as long as you are having active sin going on in your life. Even if you're a believer, you can scream out to Him. If you're continuing on your sin like you weren't even saved, He's not going to hear those prayers. Confess that sin, get it out of your way, get that out between you and God. Get get humble, get off your righteousness. Praying's not a Christmas wish list. I want this, I want this, I want that, I want this, I want this. That is not it. You need to be praying for God's will in your life, that He would reveal things to you and guide your path. And it's hard as an American who's been taught that you get to do whatever you want to. You're your own person. That's the devil talking right there. You were bought for a price. You realize that? If you're a saved believer, you were bought for a price, and God has hammered that over me like I guess the last 2 or 3 months. I keep hearing that you were bought for a price. You are a slave to God, and people don't want to hear that. But you have traded your will for God's blessing and God's promises. And if you're going to do that, you have to follow His plan. It's like going to work for somebody, and you want to go out and play golf all afternoon, and he wants you to go in there and pack boxes. Now, you might get away with it the first day or even the second day, but not the third day. And after a while, he's going to write you off because you're out playing golf and you're supposed to be packing boxes, or you're supposed to be driving a truck, or whatever this guy has called you to, and you're ignoring that, and you want to go out and be a preacher, but you're not ready to be a preacher. You're just right now learning how to read the Bible. Okay, God guides your path. As the Bible verse says, that man makes all the plans, but God directs his path. You can make all the plans you want to, but if God isn't the one directing your path, you're not going to get there. You're going to get frustrated. You're going to give up, and you're going to wander off in the wilderness, and the devil is going to have you. So get focused, get in the Word, get a body of believers around you, join a church, dig in there, and get working with them. Don't think that your works in that church is going to save you. Don't think that works in that church are going to value of anything. That's for you to be able to grow, right? That's for you to get humble. That's for you to learn and get knowledge. That's where you get experience. That's where you get uh, beating heads against people that are hard headed as you are. And you think that you're so big and bad, and you run against somebody else thinks they're big and bad. People are flawed. Get over it. The faster you can forgive people, the more happy you will be. The faster that you can forgive a person that has done something to you that they didn't even know they did, the happier you're going to be. If you take that and put that chip on your shoulder and walk around waiting for somebody to knock it off, they're going to knock it off. They may not even know they knocked it off. And you're going to go out and get your feelings all hurt and go wander out and sit in the car and not going to listen to the preacher because he's upset you. You need to get
Right.
your in back in the church. You need to be listening. You need to be. I'm going to have to reset this thing because I'm going red on both ends here. Hold on with us a second, guys. We're gonna reset this thing.
St- Stay with us. Here he comes.
Okay, I'm back. You're back.
He back.
We back. Okay, so we need to make sure that we aren't going around looking to get our feelings hurt. We're going to be mature believers. We're going to be there for the long haul. We're not going to go in there and look for every opportunity to find some kind of offense to take off running out the back. And we're not going to expect a preacher to be perfect, right? Because if you're not perfect, he's not going to be perfect. I mean, he may be more practiced at it, and he's probably tried a lot harder over a longer period of time. But be quick to forgive, be slow to anger, and you need each other. You don't want to get separated. The devil wants to bust up the church. The devil wants to bust up your family. The devil wants to bust up any kind of good thing and try to stick some kind of a wedge in there so he can take you out into the wilderness and have his way with you. And you don't have to be in a physical wilderness to be in a wilderness, because right now, guys, the mental stress on people is through the roof. And I find myself at night sometimes I just laying there in bed praying to God, and sometimes all I can do is just say, "Help, help me, Jesus." I'm so overwhelmed with all the things in my mind that I need to focus on that I can't focus on, and I just have to hand it off to Jesus. And I know you guys are the same way, unless you're a whole lot further down the road than I am. Sometimes the spiritual burden, the burden of being a head of a household, the burden of being a father, a grandfather, or wherever God's got you at right now, is overwhelming to the point that you can't do it. And of course, you can't do it by yourself. That's why God gives you a wife. That's why God gives you friends. That's why God gives you a pastor and deacons to come along and help you. When you get to that point, don't be so macho. Don't be so thinking you're in control of it that you don't reach out and ask for help. We all need help from time to time. And I've went down that road this last 2 weeks, 2.5 weeks, 3 weeks, gosh, of being just unable to do anything. That just drives me crazy. So, but what we can do is we can pray. All right, so that's a long Bible verse, but it sort of jumped us into the main topic. Doug, you want to talk about any more else on that Bible verse? I know you
Nope.
got lots of experience to throw in here.
Yeah, no, you're good. I jumped in a minute ago, but actually, one thing that you did say a while ago about people strengthening, you know, people. I
Hmm.
used to do a demonstration with my Awana kids. I take a popsicle stick, I hand it to one of the kids. I'm like, break that. Of course, they snap it quick, and then I hand another kid two. It took them a second, but they broke it. And then I'd bundle 8 or 10 together and put a rubber band around. I'm like, all right, break those. They'd fight and fight and fight with it. And I'm like, well, that's, it's a perfect example of, when you're on your own, the devil can attack you and break you easily. But
Yep.
if you got people around you and friends and family that are like minded, like you are, and they're grounded in their faith, it's harder to break somebody like that.
Right. Yeah, and we a lot of the guys have asked to join the elder group here recently, and that's where I'll share more of prayer requests and things like that with those guys because they've been long time listeners usually, and
Mhm.
they've been with us or they're long time friends outside of the show, and I know those guys are serious. I know that they listen, they're engaged, they're concerned, they share concerns with us. Those guys are usually have shared burdens with us, and we share burdens with them. And that's what that group is sort of for. It's for prayer warriors, and it's for guys that have got good wisdom that they can help out each other. So if you guys are interested in being an elders group, you need to answer those questions. We get a lot of people requesting and don't even answer the questions, so I just delete them. If you aren't if you don't know enough about this show to answer those questions, you don't need to be in the group. And those are very minuscule questions too, by the way. That's a pretty low bar. I can make them a lot more difficult. But I encourage you guys to strengthen each other, lift each other up, and that you are working together. So on their main topic, stand in this day and age when so much evil is just pervasive amongst my grandchildren here. I turned on the cartoons this morning, and for them to watch when they just got here, and the commercials on the children's cartoons is just disgusting, stupid, and ignorant stuff. And I'm like, it's like a bunch of little gay guys running around making up videos, and I don't know what is this stuff. I don't want them watching this garbage, but they're watching it at home or other grandparents' house or something like that. It's just unbelievable. I got a picture this week that I saw this and I'm like, what in the world is that? And it was an ad, and I'm gonna pull this picture up not because I want to look at it, but because I got shared this how evil this world has gotten. Uh, so it's an ad for Overstock.com, and it's a picture of a. I don't know if you guys can see that or not, but it's a urinal, and you can see a woman on her knees. And this is something I don't want the kids to see, but in front of a man with his pants down, and it's advertising blue pills from Overstock.com, and they're talking about, and this was on Facebook, or Instagram. I think it's Facebook or Instagram one, and that thing popped up as I was scrolling through the feed. This thing popped up. I'm like, how in the world is this allowed? And I clicked as offensive and reported as offensive. Of course, it disappeared as soon as you do that. But Overstock.com, why would they be advertising ED pills, first of all? Why would they be advertising it in such a vulgar, graphic manner? Because they're inundated with the devil. It's a spiritual battle, guys.
Yeah.
Commercials on television are not. I tell you, it's just vulgar, disgusting stuff, and you just gotta cut that garbage out. I'm just saying, you got to stand up against that stuff. When you're in a room with your kids are watching this stuff, and that stuff pops up, hit the mute and say that's wrong. Declare that that's wrong, and what they're doing is wrong, and that's disgusting, and it's not something that should be on TV. And
Mhm.
then turn it off or turn on something else or try to find something. But I mean, even on regular, you know, innocuous children's channels, this morning the kids are sitting there. I look up and it's like a Giorgio Armani or some kind of a gay perfume company thing, and the woman's got like nothing on. And this is like 6:30 in the morning, 6:30, 7 o'clock in the morning. Woman's got like nothing on and just like a little thing down in front of her, and she's walking out of the water and stuff's flipping and flopping, and it's advertising perfume on a kids channel at 6:30, 7 o'clock in the morning. And I'm like, the devil's out there, guys. He's trying to get your children. You better keep an eye on it. You better watch, especially if you got kids in school. I mean, the sex stuff they're teaching in school is so disgusting now.
Yeah.
That stuff should be rated X. I mean, if we were teenagers, if we wanted to go find that stuff when we were teenagers, I don't know where you went to. You had to go to some kind of a sex store somewhere in what, Chicago? There wasn't nothing like that even in Louisville back when I was a kid. I don't think. I mean, I think they're looking for it, but I mean, I don't even know where you'd found this kind of garbage they're teaching in the elementary schools now. Seriously,
No.
it'd have been some kind of something you buy in the back van of a flea market or something. I don't know where you'd even find this garbage, and they're teaching this in school as education. You need to get at top of that. If you got kids in schools and this stuff's getting taught, you want to know why 10-year-olds are having oral sex on school buses? Yeah, it's just ridiculous. So, stand. Well, the topic was stand, and that's just the theme of this whole thing. We got to stand up for the innocent. We got to stand up against abortion wherever you see it. I don't know. Some of our listeners might be thinking it's okay. It's murder. In
Yep.
my book, I think it's in your book, Doug. Murder. Now, people have made mistakes. I'm not saying you're an evil person because you may have had an abortion, or your husband or the husband might have condoned abortion, or your boyfriend, girlfriend, whatever, might have had an abortion when you were younger, and that sin guilt's on you, and you get offended by someone saying it's a murder. It's still murder. I'm not trying to offend you. I'm trying to save you from thinking that it's okay to murder babies. So, I've, but we got to stand for the innocent. We got to stand people that can't take care of themselves. Uh, we got all these children out here, and these up here out here for adoption. All these children in foster homes need good, godly parents, good godly figures in their lives. If you're able, man, adopt these kids. They got to have some place to go, and if you don't take them, who knows what kind of household they're going to end up in. You don't want that. I mean, it's a burden. Go out and get the training. Right now, we're just not able to do it with how we're spread so different direction. But Chris and I have talked about it a lot. If we weren't in so many different places and have so many things in the fire right now, we would do it. Stand up for your family. Whenever your family needs help, make sure you're there for them. We got so many kids that don't have have only one parent in the household. If you're separated from your wife, or you're divorced from your wife or whatever, and you have a child, make sure you're getting with that child and you're loving on that child and you're letting them know how much you love them, how much you care about them. There are so many people who are destroyed because their parent was self-centered and wanted to run off with some other woman, never did go back and see his kid, never did care about him. Kid thinks that they've done something wrong, goes out and carries that out into his family, his life. Go mend those fences. Stand up, be a man. Stand up, be a woman. Go back. Well, I know women that have run off, left their families. Go back and straighten that out. Now, don't go start a fight. Go back and be a good influence. Ask for forgiveness and it'll probably take a long time if they ever forgive you. But if they do forgive you, go back and be a part of their life. Be there for them. I've failed them with my oldest son. I've just been hard headed and just not. I've tried and tried and tried, but I have to admit I got to the point where I just like had given him over to God. I'm just like, but God's worked on him. God's worked on him. God's still working on him. God's still working on me. Uh, and he's now in church, and he's taking his family to church, and I'm praising God for that.
That's good.
Praising God for that growth. But you guys can continue to pray for that. I'm enjoying seeing him grow and get closer to God, and his wife getting closer to God, and that is just an answer to lots of prayer over many years. And we're glad that he's maturing and standing up and taking care of his family and getting his family in church. But you guys know you guys are going through the same things. We all are experiencing this in one way or another. Some guys are more have a better track record than maybe I do, but we all have to make sure that we're standing for a family. Stand up for your pastor. Your
Hmm.
pastor gets attacked all the time. And I don't mean go start fights with other people in the church. I mean, let the pastor know you're praying for him. Go pray for him. Ask him if there's anything you can do for him. Ask him if there's any needs. Because people want to go to the pastor and complain about everything. They don't have a problem to go complain about the pastor or to the associate pastor about the pastor. Don't be the devil's tool. Don't do that. Lift up. If you can't say nothing to lift up the body of God, then get out of there and don't be a problem. But you need to get in there. You need to ask the pastor, hey, is anything I can help you with? Some pastors are so busy they may not have time to be able to talk to you. They have so many different commitments. But go to the associate pastor. Say, hey, is there anything I can pray for you about? Anything I can help out the senior pastor with? Is there anything I can help out here at the church about? There's a need. I tell you, in our church, we need all kinds of volunteers. People aren't stepping up. They don't want to give the time. They don't want to sacrifice. They don't want to take a hit to their, I don't know, their ego or whatever, because they wouldn't take a role that isn't some kind of prestigious role in church. Let me tell you, there's no prestigious roles in the church. There's no glorifying roles in the church. Every role in the church is subject to be attacked by the first person that comes along. I can tell you, and be able just to take it and just smile and go on. Stand up for your church. You hear people bad mouthing your church. You stand up for your church. No, not start a fight. Say, hey, it's not been my experience. I'm sorry that you've had that. Anything we can do to try to help get you back. Don't be a gossiper joining in and start bad mouthing your own church or any other churches, for that matter.
Hmm.
God will discipline. If the church is bad, God will take them out. Okay, but you need to try to do the best you can. Support your church, support your pastor, support the other people in the church. And the people are making mistakes, you go up to them and say, "Hey, I see you doing this, and I want to pray for you. And is there anything I can do to help? And what's the situation?" Now that's not meddling. You're supposed to go lift up others in church. You're not meddling. People say, "Oh, you're just meddling." You see people that have a sin problem. They need to first of all have church uh, representatives go to them and say, "Hey, what's going on here that you're committing this sin publicly?" And that's not to be mean to them. That's to try to save their soul. That's to try to keep them from damaging their reputation. They may not even recognize it as sin. They may think they're doing everything right, but people will see right through when you're trying to cover up your sin. You think you put that mascara and lipstick on there and covered it up. Them skeletons come sliding out of there. Whenever you're trying to hide sin, whenever you're trying to act like you're something else, and stand up for your country. Don't let these communist, God hating people tear our country down, tear out the foundations, tear out the roots of the country, so they can remake it into garbage country that they came from most of the time.
Right.
Stand up against tyranny. Tyranny is the government using its power to abuse its subjects, to abuse it. Well, it's citizens in our case, subjects in the case that you're not a constitutional government, form of government. But stand up against tyranny. And Doug, I'm rambling on like crazy. I don't know. I think I took that XM3 pill and I'm like wired now. So jump in here. I
Well,
know you got a lot to say on this stuff.
hey, stand up, like you said, stand up for your country. There's things that are just wrong in this country Troy's talking about abortion. New York tried to push that late term abortion where you could abort a baby all the way up to the time of delivery. That's just sick. Yeah,
It's evil. It's
it
just
is
evil.
evil. You know, they uh, don't get me started on don't get me started on the left because they're just driving me up a wall lately with the gun control and trying to take away your rights. Um, they just don't get it. People just don't get it. Oh, we lost Troy. Oh, there he
I'm
comes.
back.
Yeah, you're back.
I went red again.
People just don't get it, man. But if you don't stand up, all your freedoms that you have will gradually get taken away, and all this liberal agenda will get pushed on you until you choke on it, and then it's going to be too late. You're not going to be able to get rid of it.
Yep. Yeah, I was saying earlier. I don't know if I was talking to you before the show or during. Might have been during the show. But as soon as this Democrat, the guy elected as governor, they've already got a platform. They got an agenda for him to things they want him to sign. First thing's red flag laws. The second thing was they want to start taking away our homeschooling rights here. They want to try to put it underneath the government's control. Third thing was they wanted to try to repeal a lot of the gun rights expansion we've had in the last 4 years under this Republican governor that's about to leave. Um, it evil is ready to take you by the throat as soon as it gets in. And you guys think, I don't know, some of you guys might think that I'm saying this is, I'm equating Democrats with evil. Well, I'm equating that when they want to try to take away your guns, when they want to try to control how you raise your children, and when they want to try to have laws that will give them the ability to take away your first, your second, your third, fourth, fifth, seventh, 13th Amendment, right? 26th Amendment, under those red flag laws, you don't have any due process. People can just say whatever they want to about you. There's been people killed all over this country that under these red flag laws.
Yep.
People make up something. I saw the other day that there was the woman that turned in her neighbors and said that they had machine guns and they were doing something, and the police went in there and killed them. They didn't even have any guns. This woman had a beef for these neighbors. They went in there, they killed these people. And the county attorney or the state attorney ordered to dismiss the charges against the police officers and dismiss the false report by the neighbor. Well, now the federal government's coming in and said, no, you guys got to answer for this because you swatted these people and had them killed, and the neighbor's going to go to prison, and the police officers, or two police officers that killed them, are going to go to prison, hopefully, but they're going to at least be a federal court. That's going to happen all over these states that keep having these red flag laws. If you don't have you don't have due process rights, that your rights can be taken from you, and people that you don't even know can say that you're some kind of a nut and have police come in and shoot you up and your family and your house. That is not the American Constitution right there. That violates almost all of the Bill of Rights. And you cannot have that. You got to stand up against that and fight against that, and you got to let them know about it. You got to be verbal. You got to be in there, not confrontational, but you got to let them know what you think about that. And you got to do it in the right way. You can't just start calling people names and cussing them out. That don't get you nowhere. You need to be able to discuss what the points are about it. That you're violating my first right. I can't say nothing. Second Amendment rights, you don't have the right to infringe upon my right to own a gun. And you got to have due process. If that's not going through the courts by a jury of your peers, then you're not getting due process, and then you're no longer a citizen. You're a subject, and your rights are subject to whoever is in charge at that point in time. And that is not America. That's another country. And you guys don't stand up, wake up, and get involved, get busy. They're gonna be putting you all in chains. I'm just telling you. I'm telling you, that's Democrats, man. They want to enslave everybody. Y'all think I'm crazy, but some of you don't, but think that I'm crazy. Look what they do. They want to take away your stuff. They want to lock you up. They want to tell you how to live your life. What is that? That's a slave master.
Yep.
If you was a wild animal, they take out your sharp teeth, right? They take your claws off. If you're a cat, they cut your claws off. What do they want to do? They want to enslave you. They want to make you a pet. They want to make you someone that works for them and pays for them to go around and tell you how to live your life. I.e., Bloomberg. That's not the biggest example ever. Just stepped in the race. He wants to tell everybody what to drink, what to eat, what they can have, what they can't have. That's a slave master. That's why he's a Democrat. Oh well, I'm offending our long lineage of Democrat family voters, and I'm sorry for that. The current Democrat Party, at least on the national level, is desirous of being your slave master.
Mm-hmm.
Now, when I was young, there was lots of fine Democrats. Even up until Zell Miller's time, there were some fine Democrats.
Mm-hmm.
Those people dead or gone or been kicked out of the party. You got a bunch of commies right now, socialist commies that want to try to take over and control you. They think they're smarter than you. If we let them get by with it, I guess they are.
Yeah.
All right, I'm done on my little political soapbox. You go ahead and run with it if you want to, Doug, or we'll move on to the next thing.
No,
I
you're
told
good.
you, I told you before the show, I was cantankerous tonight.
You were.
Told you, I don't know if it's good to go on because I'm pretty cantankerous tonight, and I don't know if I'm going to make some people mad. So I don't know if we even got anybody left over there on the side. Looks like somebody's over here.
Somebody will hear it.
All right, we got one or two over there. All right, so where are we at? I've lost my show notes. I have no idea where I'm at. Oh, we're at the main topic. All right, how can you help with the show? Hey, we got some stickers and patches and other stuff. And if you guys will start buying some gun stuff, we'll have some money. There's a patch. Y'all buy some gun parts or some crossbreed holsters or something. We'll have some money. Maybe we'll invest in some shirts. We've been. I just paid for all the web stuff again. I think that was a couple, $200-300
Oh, did you?
again. I think it costs us $30 a month for a web store to host it and to run all the shipping and stuff is on top of that. So it costs us some money to have the show. We appreciate you guys that support us. Other ways you can help out the show, we're going to keep this brief. We're going to get around to the armed citizen, and we'll try to go through here quick because I've been running my mouth off too long. I don't even know what time it is. 10:20. Oh, my gosh. Doug, you got to go to Arkansas in the morning. All right. DeVore. We've talked about DeVore a lot. You guys probably blue in the face of hearing about DeVore. DeVore's a clearing house for Optics Planet. If you use our link, they'll send us a little bit of love. If you decide to buy something from DeVore, you find something you think is cool there. I bought night vision. I bought tons of stuff. My wife would probably agree with me. Clothing. I think I bought this jacket here. I bought all kinds of gun tools and electronics and optics and oh gosh, shoes and knives and I mean probably anything you can think of. Go check them out. Use our link, please, and they'll send us a little bit of love. I play body armor. If you'd like to buy some our body armor, you can buy it from our buddy Lyman Bishop up there in Montana. Probably in about 6 foot of snow now. I don't know what I don't know what the weather's like up there where he's at, but check them out. Hoplite Armor using our link, please. Zija, I take Zija every day, and as I was saying, I took a Zija XM3 pill earlier because I was about to go to sleep right before the show started, and now I'm talking like a crackhead. So if you would like to know more about Zija and how it's helped me lose over 160 pounds, 164 pounds now, go to guidesandguns.myzija.com and you can find out more about it. You can join, you can become a consumer, you can become a distributor, you can make it a career. A lot of people I know are making hundreds of thousands of dollars a year doing that full time because they embrace the business plan and run with it. And if you want to know more about that, give me a message and we can hook you up with my upline, Chris, and other guys that are much more knowledgeable about that than I am. Also,
crossbreed holsters. Hey, Troy and I both showed you our holsters earlier. Well, I showed you mine, but he's carrying the same one, the Super Tuck Deluxe. And if you can see that, you can tell that it is worn and it fits a Glock 19. You can see that right there, the imprint on it.
It'll fit a Glock 30S too.
It will. That will hold a Glock 17 also. So,
yep, and a 19. No, 19.
Yeah, it'll hold
a 26.
It'll hold a 26, a 19, and a 17.
It might hold 33.
Maybe.
That's the
Hey,
long slide, isn't it?
but if it doesn't, Crossbreed has a holster
Oh,
for you.
34. 34 is a long
34.
slide.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whatever your choice is to carry, except maybe a high point. Not sure. Probably not. But whatever you got, Crossbreed probably makes a holster for you. Go check our buddies out at crossbreedholsters.com. Use our promo code when you find something of GNG and get a discount of 10% off just for listeners to Troy and I. So go check our buddies out. Also, Axelson Tactical Performance High Precision Rifles. I supported them in their new venture with Freedom Circus shirts the other day, and I actually got my shirt in. It is a nice shirt. I actually wore it on the last show. Every shirt that you buy right now, they are doing a drawing and giving away an $8,000 custom setup rifle, scope, the whole 9 yards. And if I'm not mistaken, I think they were saying all their custom rifles come with a box of rounds that are custom for that rifle. And I was actually looking at it, and they had Axelson etched into the bullet casing, so it's actually pretty cool. They are matched for that gun. So go check our buddies out, Freedom Circus USA, for the shirts if you would like to get one and get in on the drawing. And their website is Axelson Tactical AxelsonUSA.com. Use our promo code over there if you find something you like, God and Guns, and you'll get a 10% discount over there as well. Also, PowerTac Lights, you've heard us talking about it, our new sponsor. Hey, go check these guys out. They are offering 20% off on anything that they have in their store. And they have some awesome lights. I got the headlamp, which is, let's see, do I got it on me? Which one is it? I think it's the HL10. Uh, excuse me, headlamp. 2,600 lumens when you have it on the turbo mode. I keep mine on medium most of the time, and it's bright enough to light up anything I want to see. It's really bright. There's a low mode too for when you're walking through the woods, or you can go to red. But they have an M5 out there right now that is really nice. 1,300 lumens, I think is what it is, and they have all their flashlights are rechargeable. They come with a magnetic charger that just hooks right onto the light, charges it up, you're good to go. But go check our buddies out at powertac.com. Find the light you want, use our promo code God and Guns, get a 20% discount, and they actually show Troy and I a little love on the backside when you order something with them. So you can't beat that. So go check those guys out. Also, our affiliate link, Palmetto State Armory. I can't say enough. Go out on our site, go to my site, go to Troy's site, pull that link down, and send that to everybody you know in your contacts. Share it on Facebook. Ask them to share it. Let's get the word out that we have the affiliate link. That will help out the show tremendously by you guys buying stuff through Palmetto State. So if you have the opportunity, Christmas is coming, and Black Friday sales are fixing to roll. They got ammo, gun parts, full ARs. If you want to buy a full AR, they have deal of the day. Sign up for deal of the day. When you find something you like that comes in on that, go back to our link and go buy it that way, and you'll like it. I know they just did the deal of the day the other day, dude. They had a Smith & Wesson M&P Shield, or M&P. No, what is it? Smith & Wesson Shield, 9mm. When you got the rebate, the $50 rebate that comes from Smith & Wesson, it made the gun $199. You can't beat that. So go ahead.
That's cheaper than that one we looked at down there at the Georgia. What was the name of that gun? Gosh, I forgot the name of it.
The Sky?
No, it was that little subcompact we shot. Man, I'm getting old. TP9 Elite.
Oh yeah.
The subcompact.
The Canic.
A Canic, yeah. It was a 279.
Yeah, something like that. Ridiculous price for a great shooting gun.
Yeah, awesome trigger. Yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
Hey, you can't beat them. But hey, go check them out. Palmetto State Armory. Use our link, and they will show Troy and I a little love on the backside.
All right, Interior Alliance. We were Interior Alliance life member, and they're a great bunch of companies over there. Just recently, uh, Marty with Talking Lead invited me to join up the Buck Collector Knife series, and it's got the Buckmaster. I don't know if you remember the big Buckmaster knives back in the day. Back in the 80s, I bought one of those like a Rambo knife, had the two big studs on it, and a rope ring loop in it, and you could store stuff in the handle, and had the wire cutter back, razor back on it. I've still got that knife. When they asked me to join that group, because Marty at Talking Lead's a part of the Interior Alliance as well. Uh, I went to my safe, and it's in there in my safe. I've had that thing. It's got a knife sharpener on the back of the sheath, and I've had that knife since 1984.
Really?
Yeah, and I've lost one of the studs. I wonder if they can get me a stud for it because one of the studs are backed out. I know it's probably in a box somewhere in this house, but over the years, somewhere one of the studs got taken out. It's just off. Another thing. And let's see, we got Bork's discount code. Is that just for that one class, or I can't remember?
I I think right now it is, but if we do get on that one, hey, well, hopefully they'll hook us up with some more stuff.
Well, try it. Try it on any class. See,
Yeah,
all you do is say no.
but yeah. Use the promo code God and Guns.
And Doug's going to get him one of these days.
He's going to get one in a couple of weeks.
He thinks.
You'll have the rifle. I know, right? I got to tell you, I'm thinking seriously about shooting the 45 just so I can cut a bigger hole.
Yeah, yeah. I think he'll get it.
We'll see.
All right, armed citizen. What you got, Doug?
NRA armed citizen this week. Florida man guns down armed robber who tried to take his jewelry. He states, "Don't put an AK-47 in my face." A Florida man said he was forced to gun down an armed robber who tried to take his jewelry. Police officers arrived at the scene in the vicinity of Northwest 71st Street and 6th Court in Miami in the early hours of Monday to find a man who was unresponsive with a gunshot wound. WSVN reported he was pronounced dead at the scene by the Miami Fire Rescue, the station reported. Donovan Stewart told CBS Miami that he had shot and killed the unidentified man after he broke into the van in a bid to rob him. Stewart said he had been sleeping when the man knocked on the door of the vehicle and then became violent as soon as the door opened, according to WSVN. The 60-year-old said he had to act fast because he was convinced that he was concerned about his 11-year-old son and his girlfriend, who were also in the van with him. Stewart, who said he is a member of the NRA with a state firearms license as well as concealed weapons permit, told CBS Miami, "I am going to defend my life and those I love. My family is innocent, and just don't put an AK-47 in my face. I will not allow that to happen." He added, "I am a Kingston town in Jamaica, and I am not going to go out like a punk." So I emptied my Glock into his chest. Whew. Stewart added to WSVN, "He came to kill, he came for blood, and guess what he's after? My jewelry." Miami police officer Mike Vega said the incident appeared to be self-defense, said the investigation into the shooting is ongoing. CBS Miami reported he urged anyone with information to call the Miami Police Department. Authorities have taken Stewart's gun uh, and van in a bid to investigate what happened, WSVN also reported. According to CBS Miami, the man who was killed had allegedly robbed a woman at gunpoint before his encounter with Stewart. Delilah Gator said she was devastated after the man had approached her at 6 a.m. on a Saturday and took off with her iPhone, her 2018 Volkswagen, and $600 in cash. He had a gun and forced me to open my door. She told the station. He told me to open, so I gave him my cash right away. I feel very relieved now. She said it was crazy of a man to rob Stewart, especially while he was living in the van with his family. He has a family, and to do something like that while he was living in the van is not right. Well, which I don't know why he was living in a van, but
You seen Rent in Miami?
true. Hey, he wasn't going to. Well, hey, you pointed an AK-47 at somebody. Yeah, you better be prepared.
Yeah,
I don't care who you are.
yeah.
I hate it for him, but hey, good guys one, bad guys zero.
As far as we can tell,
Mhm. Right.
I don't know where the man's living. If they took his van away,
I know.
that's so strange. But Florida's starting to go south, so they're going Democrat. So
Hmm.
especially around Miami,
Right.
I've been watching too many episodes of Miami Vice in that VHS player in the back of that van. I think.
Hey, that's where my prodigal Glock was found.
Maybe he emptied it into another thug or something.
Yeah, I got it back before that story happened.
We'll wrap it up. It's getting late. You got to go long ways in the morning.
I do.
All right. So send your feedback to Troy at GunGunsPodcast.com, or
Doug at GodandGunsPodcast.com.
please tell your friends about us. Leave us an iTunes review and like us on Facebook at Facebook.com/God and Guns Podcast. Subscribe and follow us on YouTube and click that like button. If you're on YouTube right now, please click that thumbs up button so we can get more ratings, and share that video with all your friends if you would. We appreciate it. And you can also follow us on Twitter at God and Guns Pod, and search for us on Instagram, and search for us on MeWe. It's our like escape pod. If something happens to us on all the other platforms, you can probably find us there to get in contact. Also, our website is being updated as we speak.
Mm-hmm.
GodandGunsPodcast.com is still not really viable at this point in time, but it will be soon because
Will
Doug
be.
promised me as soon as he gets back from all these hunting trips that he's going to try to do his best to get it back up, and I appreciate it. So, Doug, until next time, have a blessed week.
And keep your guns close, but keep your Bible closer.
Good night, guys. Appreciate y'all hanging out with us. We rambled on tonight. We're gonna shut her down, so we'll talk to you down the road.
Hey, also, I was going to say before you disconnect, if anybody needs the link to Palmetto State or to any of our affiliate links and want to help us out, if you message me or message Troy or message God and Guns, we will be happy to send you that link.
Yes, sir, ma'am. That's it.
That's it.
Good night.